Hi guys, so today's film I'm going to be talking about, unfortunately I don't have a physical copy of this film yet. I will be purchasing one very soon, hopefully I can find it on Amazon or something, because I would love to own a copy of this film because it's quickly become one of my favourites. Now this film, it's not really a traditional horror film. It's actually I would say, kind of a mockumentary horror comedy, and there's several reasons why I absolutely love this film. I discovered this film actually on Netflix. Me and my partner were just scrolling through one day. We were having like a lazy Sunday. We were just looking for something fun and easy to have on in the background while we read and played our games and stuff. And we saw this one and we put it on, and we very quickly got sucked into it and thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've seen it many times since. And the film was called What We Do in the Shadows, and like I said, it's a mockumentary horror comedy. So it follows it's basically like this documentary being made about these 4 vampires who live in a house together. They're renting this house, and this is I think it's filmed it's a New Zealand made and filmed film, and it's just really fantastic. Like I said, it's about these 4 vampires who live in this house together, and it's kind of following them around. I was going to say day to day, but it's actually night. At night, like what they do, how they live together, how they share the house, and all that kind of stuff. And it's just really, really funny. I really enjoyed this film. It really reminded me of, if you are a fan of, it almost reminded me of like British comedy films, like the way it was filmed, like The Mighty Boosh. If you've ever seen The Mighty Boosh, which is a comedy series which I absolutely love. I love them as well. I watch them over and over again. It really reminded me of that, and I said that to my partner at the time, and he was like, "Oh my god, yeah, it is like that. It's that kind of weird, almost dry, dark sense of humour." It's very funny. So each of these vampires, they all have different personalities. They're all from different time periods. They were all bitten and made vampires years and years ago, but all from different time periods. And then one of these people who enters the house, one of their victims actually ends up getting bitten and becomes a vampire. So they have this new vampire in the house who's getting to learn the ropes, and you kind of follow him around as he turns into a vampire, and the others are kind of teaching him and letting them come into their group, teaching him how to survive and what he has to do to be a vampire. It's just very, very funny. It's very, very silly. They have stories about how they became vampires and whatnot, and I just really, really enjoyed it. I can't even really explain why. It's just the way it's shot. It's very good. It's very like I said, it's a mockumentary, so it's like a documentary style. There's a camera crew following them around, and kind of talks through their different experiences, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to this story. It is just them living in the house and how they cope with living with each other. It's not like this huge storyline. All the characters do have something that they're struggling with, which you kind of see them try and work through. For example, one of them, he came to New Zealand because he was trying to find the woman he loved, and when he got to New Zealand, the woman he loved had remarried and this and that, so you kind of seen him pining after her and trying to reconnect with her. And another one of the vampires, they have kind of powers, and this vampire, he's kind of lost his powers because of an incident that happened, because he needs to have a battle with the beast, and you kind of have to follow him around so he can try and work through his problems. So you have that aspect. It's mainly about following them around their problems, so like normal people really, but vampire versions. And it's all these guys, it's all men that live in this flat, and it's kind of funny seeing how like all these men try and get along with living with each other. And I just think it's very well done, and it's very funny. Like I said, there's not a whole lot to it. If you like mockumentary films and you like horror comedies, then this is definitely one of the best I've ever seen, and I would highly recommend. It's definitely my sense of humour. Like I said, I can't really describe why I love this film so much. I just really do. There's actually a bit in it that me and my partner literally laughed out loud at, which rarely happens. And I just think, yeah, it's definitely worth watching. I feel like it's not that well known about. Like I said, I watched it on Netflix and it is still on there. I watched it a while ago and I've rewatched it since. And I'm definitely going to pick up a physical copy that I can have myself to rewatch. But yeah, if you have Netflix, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Like I said, What We Do in the Shadows is a fantastic mockumentary horror film. Would highly recommend. That's pretty much all I have to say about it, other than if you have Netflix, then please watch it and let me know what you think. Let me know if you liked it too, because this kind of comedy is not everyone's cup of tea. You know, I've spoken to friends before about these kind of comedy shows. For example, The Mighty Boosh, me and one of my friends absolutely love that show, and another one of my friends just doesn't get it at all. She doesn't understand why we find it so funny. So I feel like these films, maybe that's why it's not talked about that much. I feel like it does have somewhat of a cult following though, because, you know, I've heard a few people seem to know about this film that I've talked to them about it. So yeah, that's pretty much all you have to say. All I have to say. Like I said, if you have Netflix, then please watch it and let me know what you think, because I would love to know other people's opinion. And that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching. Until next time, bye guys.